Okay, you guys, I'm going to be doing my nails today. I have not had them done in a minute. For my nails, I came in and I had what was left of my remaining set. I filed that down and then I soaked them off, and then I have put on fresh tips. I've already done this hand to save time, and so we're going to get right into it. I used these C-curve tips that I got from, what was that place? SoCal.com. That's where I got them from. I use these C-curve tips because I'm just trying to get used to them and try to see how to work them. So like I said, I've already got my tips on, got them shaped. Now I'm going to dehydrate. And for the design, it's not going to be any acrylic design. It's going to be a gel polish design. So I'm going to do my base. And it is going to be, don't hate me, French. It's going to be another French nail, and then I'm going to do a nude base, and then on top of that, you guys will see towards the end what I'm going to do. I was going to use my French cutter, the one that I recently got in my nail haul. I used it once and I didn't like it, but I think I didn't use it correctly. So I was getting ready to use it again, and when I applied my bead on this hand, it pretty much just fell right into shape. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go with that. Maybe it'll help save me some time. Okay, so the color I'm using is not polished. This one is called Nude Me, and since I've got it, I've been using it. I love it. So I'm gonna start off with that color. I'm going to start on the pinky. I'm going to start with my French. So for this, I'm going to just take a medium-sized bead, and I'm going to start at the cuticle. So I'm going to place that, hold it there, and then I'm going to release my brush from it, and I'm going to tuck it in. Then I'm really just going to point my finger all the way down and let that product flow. So my bead was a little big, so I just took that excess off, and then I'll come in and start working the product. So the main thing I want to make sure is that the sides are free of any acrylic. And you can see that I'm using clear tips. So this is going to be like a clear French design. So now I'm going to turn my finger around, and I'm going to start working this into shape. So I'm going to add my cuticle bead. Well, this is pretty much like the start of my apex. So you want to make sure when you're creating French, you have the structure right, because if you go in and say you want to cap this, all of it, and then the structure down here isn't right, then it's just going to throw everything off. That's a side view of my French. Now I am going to cap this because, like I said, this is going to be clear. So in order just to make it easier for myself, I'm going to cap the whole thing. But this already is a nice little beginning of an apex, so I won't have to put a lot back here. And then this part, I don't want it too thick because, like I said, I'm going to come in and add my clear, and I want to be able to line this clear up with right here my French. So these new polishes from Not Polished, like I said, since I've got it, I have been using it a lot, and they're really smooth. I really like them. They pretty much have a good drying time on them. They do need to be shaken though. I notice when using them, a lot of like colored pigment comes out of it. Like this one, a little dark pink will pop up, and I'll have to kind of wiggle it around just to get that pigment to blend through. So that's the only thing, but these are some good colors. I like them. Just what I was looking for. So I'm going to continue with this nude color, and I'm keeping in mind, you guys, that I am going to be doing gel polish art on top of this foundation. So with that being said, I am intentionally making my foundation a little bit thinner than I normally would. Only time I really try to do a foundation thinner is if this is the case, if I know I'm going to be putting a lot of art on top of the nails. That is the one thing about gel polish that I really like to control. If I know I'm going to be doing art, I do not want the outcome to come out too bulky or uneven, not smooth. So I really focus on my foundation and how thick I'm applying that, just to, you know, kind of balance it out so that won't end up happening. And I can't remember where I heard it from or if I read it, but a good rule of thumb is that the tip of your nails should be the thickness of a credit card. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're applying your acrylic. I've been really focusing on the first bead that I pick up, making sure that it is not too thick. And I have been noticing a difference when I come to file. It's a lot easier. So you want to make sure that your thickness is right, but you still have a good built apex at the back. That is what is going to keep your nails on and save your clients from breaking them. So I finally got the application done, got everything capped, and now I'm going to head into finish filing. When I tell you guys it took me all day to lay this foundation, it took me all day. I came in on my day off actually to get it done, and I think that didn't help me any because I knew I wasn't on a time schedule, so I was kind of just taking my time, and before you knew it, it was already late. So I was pretty much at this point kind of over it and was trying to hurry up and finish. And that's pretty much how it goes when I'm doing myself. It just takes so long. I'm telling you, sometimes I'm like, shoot, I'm about to go have someone do my nails. But I always end up doing them myself. So it's a blessing and a curse. So to start my design, I'm going to be using these Madam Glam gel polishes. Ever since I've gotten them, you guys, I have been using them. So I really have been enjoying the colors. So I'm going to start by taking my palette and just putting a small amount of each of those colors onto that palette. Now I'm doing two sections of the pink because what I'm going to do is add a little bit of white to one of those, and I'm just going to make it a more pastel kind of pink, lighten it up a little bit. So for my design, I'm going to be creating just some simple flowers. So I'm going to start by taking my dotting tool, and I'm going to start with the center of the flower first. When you do this, this sets basically the perimeter for your flower. So everything will start from that center. So that's why I do that first. Now, since I'm going to be doing a gel polish with this design, I'm going to be flash curing as I go. So I'm adding my dots, adding my center, and then I flash cured it. And now I'm coming in and I'm just adding some white around that little dot. And for these flowers, they're real simple, real basic, but somehow, you guys, I was making it way harder than what it needed to be. I was starting, then starting over, and really that is the good thing about flash curing. Once you have something set, go ahead and freeze that, because once I go back and if I don't like something, I can just take off what I didn't like. So once I have my dots around my center, I'm going to take my striping brush and just barely bring that dot to the center. You should want to place your dots as close as you can to the center. This is what's going to help give you that daisy look. And when I'm taking my striping brush on most of these, I'm not adding any extra product, any extra gel polish. Some of these already have a good amount of gel on them when I place my dot. So all I have to do is take my striper brush, and what was left on that dot, I just brought it to the center. Some of these needed a little bit more help, so that's when I'll add just a little bit of gel polish on my striping brush to help bring that dot to the center. So I'm going to continue on making these flowers, always starting with my center first and then flash curing that. Now I want to be able to use all of the colors on my palette, so I'm really just going to mix all of these colors up and match these flowers. Now I'm coming in with that darker color and I'm applying it, and right off the bat I kind of noticed that the consistency was a little bit more runnier than the other ones. So I went on to the other flower that I was making, and then by the time I came back to the first one that I had made, I can tell that the colors were already running into each other. So I tried to fix it, but at this point I was like, no, I better just start over and try to do it again. So I pretty much did that a lot, y'all, in this set. So I'm telling you, that flash curing saved me. So I got it fixed, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to make my final flower, and that one is just that lighter pink that I made. So moving on to my clear French, I'm going to be creating, I guess you can say, some abstract lines, and I'm starting off with my striper brush that I always use. I got it from Amazon a while ago, and it works pretty good for me. But here I'm switching to my recently purchased Magpie brush, and y'all, what a huge difference. You know how they say you don't know any better until you do better? Well, that is the absolute truth. I did not know it was a better brush out there for me until I found this one. So I'm trying to be as steady as I can. This was so difficult to film, you guys, because I had to have my hand pretty much right up against my face to really see and to really be able to try to have a steady hand. So this, I pretty much did the same kind of technique. I would go in, do my line, flash cure, and then move on. And I always start with one color, and I'll do like all three nails, and then flash cure, and then I'll move on to another color just to make it easy for myself, or try to. But this was extremely difficult, okay, on myself. I don't know what I was thinking. I originally had another design in mind, but when I started out, after I did my application, I started doing that design, and I knew right off the bat it wasn't going to work. So this is off the top of my head, y'all, a freestyle. And I really did end up loving it. It took me forever, but I ended up loving it. So to finish the set off, I went in and added some diamonds. I added this dark fuchsia pink diamond. I knew it would go perfect with the set. And then I also added a lighter pink diamond, and then my regular ABs. And that was it, y'all. This set came out so beautiful. I think the clear tips with the abstract lines and then the little flowers, they are both trending right now. So if you guys happen to recreate this, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. If you're not following me there, please go and do so. And if you're not subscribed to me, go ahead and do that. And make sure you guys like and you leave me a comment, and I will see y'all in another video. Bye.